See you.
Thank you. I'm excellent.
All right. We're here at the 67th Annual NAACP Dinner. Tell us your name and what brought you out this evening.
James McDaniel, here to help support my granddaughter with the Rising School.
Where is she?
Right here.
We have with us an award winner for tonight. Your name is? Say it again.
Juliana.
Pleased to have you here. We hope you have a great evening. Okay? There we are. Award winner right with us. Thank you. And welcome to the 67th Annual NAACP Dinner. We have the pleasure with us this evening.
Well, I am Jocelyn Sandifer, and I am with the Game Changer for Business.
Totally awesome. Here's another award winner of ours. We're so glad to see you.
Well, I'm very glad to be here. I started my firm about 4 years ago, not necessarily anticipating such a thing, but my goal in life and my goal with my firm is to provide great representation for our people, and I feel like I've done that. We've gotten great results, and I'm just really excited about being here.
We're looking forward to you receiving your award tonight. And once again, thanks for coming out. Thank you. Here we are live at the 67th Annual NAACP Dinner. We're right here with our keynote speaker. Tell our crowd just who you are. To God be the glory. We are so glad to have you here tonight and looking forward to some kind words coming from you. This is the NAACP East St. Louis branch. Thank you. 87th Annual NAACP East St. Louis branch. Get the pleasure of introducing yourself.
Yes, my name is Bardo Shabazz, and I'm the president of the Macomb chapter of the NAACP, McDonough County chapter of the NAACP.
We thank God you're here with us tonight. It's such a great man. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with one of the finest individuals East St. Louis has ever known. If you don't mind, introduce yourself to our fabulous crowd tonight.
Jenny Springs, East St. Louis.
Beverly Springs from East St. Louis.
I asked the question, what brings you guys out to this awesome event? You're looking mighty fine tonight.
We're celebrating because business here.
Sounds great. Friends of Miss Gibson, this is the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP. Thank you. Here we are at the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP. We're with one of our biggest leaders. Introduce yourself to our fans.
Hello, my name is Deborah Dorsey, and I'm a member of the Executive Committee of the NAACP, as well as the seating chairperson. I also work on the James Lewis Essay and the Charles Lawson Award also. And it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon.
If I may speak for the NAACP East St. Louis branch, we thank you for all that you do. You're truly God-given to the branch. Thanks. Let's enjoy it tonight. How about it?
Yes, definitely. We have a fun-filled night planned.
There we go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the NAACP East St. Louis branch. We're with one of our recipients, the lovely Miss Lauren Parks. Hey, glad to have you here tonight.
Oh, I am honored to be here representing House of Miles, East St. Louis. I just want to sincerely thank the NAACP East St. Louis branch committee for this wonderful honor for House of Miles, East St. Louis, and just thrilled to be here.
I told my fans earlier, the stars are out tonight. This is an example of what I was saying. Good to have you, Lawrence.
Thank you, Nick.
Enjoy your evening.
Always good to see you and Duncan behind the camera, taking care of business. Much love to everybody. Thank you.
Here we are, the NAACP East St. Louis branch. I told you the stars were coming out tonight. Introduce yourself to our fabulous crowd.
Hello, I'm the president of the dynamic Delta Legacy chapter.
There we are. We're so glad to see you tonight. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you. It's an honor and pleasure to be here.
God bless. Thank you. CP East St. Louis branch. Looking show up tonight, President. Give us a little rundown on our evening tonight.
First of all, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak and to be a part of this historical, this broadcasting that you're being able to engage in. I am so excited for the 67th Annual Freedom Fund Awards. We are here tonight. If you turn the cameras around, look at our young people. Look at our future. Look at these young people that are our hosts tonight. I am so excited about what they're doing and what their bright futures look like. So I am glad to be a part of this historical event. I just think that this is our future. I'm looking at our future now, and the way that these young people look, our future looks very bright. So I want to say that unfortunately we sold out at the 67th Annual Freedom Fund Awards Banquet. We will be recognizing a lot of community leaders, business leaders, and those that are doing some great things in our community. So what I would like to say to you is that those that didn't get an opportunity to see us this year, look forward to us in 2022. I'm going to turn it back over to no other than Nick Cannon, straight out of the cannon.
It doesn't get any better than that. Mr. Stanley Franklin, President of the NAACP East St. Louis branch. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, tonight here at the NAACP East St. Louis branch to introduce to you all Mr. James Claiborne. Thanks once again for coming out with us, Mr. Claiborne. Tell us what's been going on.
Just enjoying working hard, glad to be back, glad to receive this honor. Great seeing you too.
He's all worthy of this recipient award tonight, Mr. James Claiborne. God bless.
God bless you.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you.
My man. NAACP East St. Louis branch. We've got the youth in the building along with their supervisor, manager, director, Miss Tate. Hey, what's going on tonight?
Hi, I'm honored to be here with our host and hostess. These young people have come out to volunteer their time to give back to the community, and we are so proud of them.
Hey, is there something? Do we have a cheer together, or what can we say? Let's just say hello, all together on 3. 1, 2, 3. To God be the glory. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
I said it before, I'll say it again. The stars are in the building tonight. Here's one of East St. Louis's finest here at the NAACP dinner for tonight. Tell our fans just exactly who you are and how beautiful you are.
Well, first off, I'm happy to be able to address the fans and those of East St. Louis that I hold near and dear to my heart. My name is Stephanie Taylor of Community Development Sustainable Solutions and also Illinois Juneteenth Committee. I'm honored to be here.
All right, one of my favorites in our community. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, sir. You know we love you. I hope you got you some Band-Aids because you're sharp, sir. You're sharp.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stephanie still doing what you do, huh, beautiful?
Hey. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I told you the stars are coming out tonight. Mr. Lorenzo, the founder and owner of I Am East St. Louis magazine. Good to see you tonight. What's going on, my friend?
Yeah, just coming out to honor these wonderful recipients tonight, brother. It's glad to be great.
We're so glad to see you once again. Keep up the good work, and may God continue to bless you, my brother. Thank you. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is how East St. Louis does it. They bring the stars. Introduce yourself to our crowd tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Sheila James, and I'm just excited about being here today.
I have to say, you look beautiful. You make us all look good. God bless you. Keep up the good work. And thanks for all that you do.
Thank you. You have a good evening.
This is the NAACP East St. Louis branch. I know we're keeping it rolling, aren't we? Once again, one of the finest individuals our community has ever known. He's going to introduce himself to you all.
Freddie Jackson from East St. Louis. I come to the event today to honor one of his table.
Sounds great. We're so glad to have you aboard. Enjoy your evening.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, is one of our community's finest. Miss Farmer, you are looking great. What brings you out tonight for this awesome event?
Well, you know, I come every year. This time, our soror, Congresswoman Robin Kelly, is a guest speaker. She's a sipping runner up, so I just have to be here for her.
One professionalism, we've got it right here tonight with us. Lovely Miss Farmer. Thanks for coming out, man.
I taught you too. I taught all those cannons.
Yes, yes.
Take care.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. VIP room for the NAACP East St. Louis branch. Let's introduce yourself to our people. James Lewis. James, this is a great event. Great people. You're one of those great people I've always known. Good to see you tonight. It's great to see you. I'm glad to be here. This is VIP NAACP East St. Louis branch. Thank you, sir.
Hey, what's going on?
NAACP East St. Louis branch, this is one of the individuals that put this awesome event together. My man, I like to call him Dr. Betts. Hey, brother, how you doing tonight?
Okay, Mr. Cannon, how are you? It's great to see you here tonight. Surrounded by a lot of great people here tonight. Looking forward to having another successful Freedom Fund banquet this year.
One of East St. Louis's finest. We're so glad to have him here tonight. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, this is the NAACP East St. Louis branch, and we are with the man of the hour. But guess what? We're both men of God, and we're about to do this. Let's drop our masks. That way, you can see who I'm speaking with. Mr. Belt, so good to have you here tonight.
It is a pleasure and an honor to be here. I'm really looking forward to the event. It's really a good themed event, so I'm just looking forward to the rest of the night.
To our fans, I have to let them know I'm a member of the NAACP, and my #1 pick for a Recipient award was this guy here, Mr. Bell. Great guy, so good to see you. Enjoy your evening.
As always, I appreciate you and all the work you do. People don't know. Everywhere I go, I always see this guy. Phenomenal guy, great with the kids. If you go to any game, you're gonna hear that voice. And just wanted to say I think the world of him. I think the world of his sister. And I just told him I didn't know his mom was phenomenal family, great people, and God bless you all.
Thanks for the kind words. Mr. Bell, our man, thank you. Great citizens of the universe, I told you, the stars are in the building. Here is one of the greatest guys our area has ever known, Mr. Frank Smith. We are so glad to have you here tonight. Introduce yourself to your people and your lovely environment.
My name is Frank Smith, Chairman of East St. Louis Democratic Central Committee. And this is my lovely wife, Deborah Dorsey.
We're here tonight for the NAACP East St. Louis branch 67th annual dinner. Glad to have you guys.
Glad to be here again. Thank you for having us.
To God be the glory. It doesn't get any better than this. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right. It's the NAACP East St. Louis branch. I said it earlier. The stars are out tonight. Let's introduce ourselves to our good people.
Richard Powder, East St. Louis, Illinois, past president of the State Community College, East St. Louis.
Hi, good evening. Lisa Bonner McKinney from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, we are so glad to have them here with us this evening. It's people like It is couples like this that make the evening a success. Just glad to have you guys here.
And this is father and daughter.
Good evening.
All right. Just fine. Father and daughter. We're so glad to have them here. To God be the glory.
Reeds that's here, that's walking in a different path of life. We appreciate all of you, and we thank you for coming to the VIP reception. It is now time to move forward to our VIP Awards program. Our VIP Mistress of Ceremony is Miss Kathy Walker Steele. She is a retired assistant superintendent. She's well known in the community, and she's a member of AKA sorority. Let me introduce to some and present to others Miss Kathy Walker Steele, our Mistress of Ceremony.
Thank you, Rhonda Franklin. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is the day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, that we are out and about, standing on 2 feet and just feeling good. Are you feeling good? Amen. We've been through the pandemic and we're holding on. So I ask that before we get into the program, please be cognizant of this pandemic that has taken so many from us, that we social distance, and you all know what to do. You know, we've been hearing about it since March of 2020. So we all know what to do, right? Am I correct? And if you have lost someone due to this pandemic, just let's take a moment of silence to remember them during this horrific time. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to call the VIPs in the room. If you're a VIP, you know, we've changed things. The whole culture of the world has changed. So we used to take all of these pictures, a group of pictures, but if you're a VIP, just raise your hand in the air. Just raise your hand if you're a VIP in this room, and we thank you for supporting. Everybody look around. These are our VIPs in the room. We thank you. You all can do better than that. We thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we look forward to the 67th Annual East St. Louis NAACP dinner. It's always a wonderful evening. But where is Mr. President? Is Mr. Stanley Franklin in this room? He's been running around all day. Here he is. Give him a hand. Just want everybody to see you, Mr. President. Hard-working president. Wave your hands. Okay. And then to our chairman, this year's chairman, is Senator Christopher Belt. I know I saw, there he is. And the co-chairman is Mr. James Williams. I know he was in this room. Not so big. Where is Mr. James Williams? But give him a hand anyway. He's here. He's walking around. So we thank them for all the hard work. So at this time, we're going to present the Subscribing Life medallions to those people who are now Subscribing Life members. And Miss Katrina Thomas is over, and she has the medallions. If I call your name, please come up. Carl Mattox. Is Carl Mattox in the room? Mr. Carl Mattox. Okay, Miss Keisha Garrett. Miss Keisha Garrett. Okay. Miss Christy Hughes. Okay. Warnetta Brookins. Come on down, hey, Warnetta, come on down. Miss Katrina Thomas has a medallion for you. And take a photo with our president. Give her a hand as she walks. We need a little walking music out there. Okay, the next one is Miss Stephanie D. Taylor. Miss Stephanie Taylor. Is Stephanie in the room? Oh, come on down the runway. Look at her. All right. Do a turn for us, Stephanie. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. Stephanie, congratulations. And you'll take a photo op with our president, Mr. Stanley Franklin. Next is Miss Daphne Brown Wright. Is Daphne Brown Wright in the room? Daphne Brown Wright. Next is Danielle P. Moore. Is Danielle P. Moore in the room? Here comes the fabulous Danielle P. Moore. Congratulations. Next is Miss Deborah Dorsey. Is Deborah Dorsey in the room? Deborah Dorsey. Here she comes, is Miss Deborah Dorsey, looking fabulous. Come on, give her another hand. Give her another hand, Deborah Dorsey. Okay. Next is Ethel Sheldon. Miss Ethel Sheldon. Is Ethel Sheldon in the room? And last but certainly not least is Willie Ray McKnight. But I spoke too fast. This is not the last one, but the fabulous one in this beautiful red gown. All right now. Now the last one is Miss Sheila Reed. Is Sheila Reed in the room? Sheila Reed. We're looking good tonight. If you feel good about how you look, give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. You look good, everybody. You look beautiful. You look beautiful. So congratulations to the subscribing life members for the East St. Louis NAACP. Give them a hand. Give them a hand like you mean it. All right. Next we have categorical awardees. Are you going to do the honor? This is none other than Miss Laura Jones. You all know Laura. Give her a hand as she comes in her own way.
Thanks to my summer cafe. Good evening. Afternoon. This afternoon. I am here to present the categorical awards, and each year we emphasize membership. And as many of you know, our membership winner has almost always been the same person. Mrs. Curtis Paradise will be receiving the award for selling the most memberships during this banquet drive. Is Miss Paradise in the building? Ooh, she's not here. Okay, we'll make sure that she gets her award. The other categorical award that will be presented is to a member of the committee who sells the most VIP tickets, us, the VIPs. So we will be awarding that award to Mrs. Waletta Bookings, who sold the most VIP tickets. Congratulations, Waletta. Please come forward to receive your award. Come on. Yes, you're it. Congratulations. And you can see she's surprised because she didn't know this was happening. Congratulations. And we'll move over to take a picture. Thank you.
Congratulations again. Give a round of applause. We like clapping for the people so they'll feel real good, real good. Now comes the time, if I can have your attention, this is where we all kind of get confused. There's a holding room behind that wall over there. So I'm going to call some names for our head table guests. The doors open upstairs at 5:30. So if you know that I'm not going to call your name, you can kind of start easing out. Am I right? Can they start easing out? Oh, don't move. Don't move. They got another plan. So I'm going to call the names for the individuals to go to the other room to have the petition.
With the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP as we celebrate our 67th annual Freedom Funds Banquet. We ask at this time that you would please take your seats. You are in for an evening of excellence, and we want to recognize outstanding people in our great community. At this time, will you please join me in welcoming to the stage the 2020 National ACSO Silver Medalist, Ms. Taylor Cassidy. Let's give her a round of applause. Taylor will be introducing our amazing MCs for tonight.
Good evening. Good evening. Y'all are a great crowd. Welcome to the 67th Annual Freedom Fund Awards Program. My name is Taylor Cassidy. In 2020, the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP sent me to the national competition for the Afro-Academic, Cultural, Technological, and Scientific Olympics, commonly referred to as ACSO. I competed against so many young, talented African-American students from around the country, and it was an amazing experience. So it's an honor to be here with you tonight, representing the East St. Louis NAACP again. Our theme for the night is economic equity in the real Black market. Statistics have shown that the growth of Black business is essential in not only closing the wealth gap, but in ending underemployment in Black communities and creating innovation. With that in mind, hopefully you'll get a chance to visit some of our Black businesses being showcased in our real Black market. We have a great program for you tonight, so let's get started. I'd like to introduce our Mistress of Ceremony, Ms. Kelly Hoskins of Fox 2 News. She's an award-winning news anchor, a motivational speaker, and a native St. Louisan. Kelly is a two-time Emmy nominee and has over 20 years experience in television news. Please join me in welcoming our Mistress of Ceremony, Ms. Kelly Hoskins. Next, please welcome our Master of Ceremony, Mr. Rennie Knott. Rennie Knott is a co-anchor for Today in St. Louis on Channel 5. He's the winner of 3 Emmys and has covered many stories, including the Olympics. Ladies and gentlemen, our Master of Ceremony, Mr. Rennie Knott. Please join me in welcoming our Master and Mistress of Ceremony, Mr. Rennie Knott and Ms. Kelly Hoskins.
Well, good evening, and thank you, Taylor, for such a warm welcome. Might add that she was a silver medalist in the national ACSO competition that she spoke about. Let's give her a round of applause.
Well, there is a little bit more to congratulate her for. She is also the creator of Sirius XM Radio's new TikTok radio channel. So she has a lot going on in her life right now.
And I really want to thank you for inviting us here today to celebrate the great work of the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP and tonight's honorees.
I want to say thank you as well. In fact, it is an honor and a blessing to be before you tonight. It was great to be here with many of you and Kelly back in 2019. We're on this very stage. We watched the great John Lewis cut a rug and get us all pumped up and inspired. God bless you. So I'm so happy to be back here with you tonight. It is important that we support organizations like the NAACP that illuminate injustices and celebrate the greatness that is in our community.
And I agree, I am ready for a great program, and I hope you are too. As we celebrate, please remember to wear your mask and require that you walk around the room. And to begin the night, we will have the presentations of the colors by the Cahokia High School Army JROTC. This will be followed by Brach, God bless America, sung by the NAACP AXO participants, Christian Tucker and Tyler McFarland. And the AXO participants, Jamila Moore, will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing. Now could we please stand for the presentations of the colors?
Ready, front, Gary, out. Forward, march.
My guy right here, what's up? Look at yourself.
March!
above, through the mountains, through the valleys, through the ocean, where we fall. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Lift every voice and sing till the heaven ring with the hum of let us rejoice in the hearts as the things God. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing the song full of the faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing the song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you so much for all of our youth. They've done a great job. Your families are so proud of you. Let's give them another round of applause because we have to always support our youth. Next in our program, we have Pastor Carlos Mayfield. He will join us for the invocation.
Good evening and grace be unto you. Shall we bow our heads and hearts to pray? Eternal God in heaven, we just bow in humble submission. We bow to the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We thank you this evening for your goodness and your grace. We thank you for your faithfulness and your long-suffering. We thank you for this time that we've come to celebrate, O great King. Not only who you are, but whose you are in us. We thank you for this great organization, this NAACP. May its aims remain true to its very core and foundation. We pray for the leaders of the NAACP. May they continue to forge our community forward in faith. We thank you tonight for the awardees, and we thank you for the recipients, oh God. We thank you for the leaders who come from near and far to proclaim your goodness and your grace. Now, O great King, we ask that you would be with us, that you would bless this meal, Lord, that it would be nourishing for our bodies, that it would strengthen us, that we would be the people that you've called us to be. And again, we thank you tonight. We ask that you would come into this room, that your presence and power would fill the temple, that we may celebrate the goodness of our God. We love you, we praise you, and we thank you. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. I'm going to go off script for just a second here, Sheila, if you don't mind. I just want to say, doesn't it feel great to be back in person again? Doesn't it feel like we have climbed some type of mountain, leaped some type of hurdle, whatever it is in our way? Doesn't it feel good to be among friends again? Yes? Thank you for that. Now we will move on to the official welcome and greetings. If the presenters will please come to the stage in their respective orders. First, this year's banquet chair, Senator Christopher Belt of the 57th District of Illinois, will officially welcome you to tonight's program. And then, East St. Louis Mayor Robert Easter III will bring the greetings. After that, Illinois District 114 State Representative, the Honorable LaToya Greenwood, will introduce Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Belt.
Good evening. Good evening. I am both humbled and honored to serve as your banquet chair for this evening's event. As banquet chair, I want to welcome you to the 67th Annual Freedom Funds Award Banquet. Thank you all for joining us tonight as we celebrate, quite simply, us. The people we are individually, jointly as a Black community, and as a network of Black-owned businesses and a thriving Black workforce. All of you in this room know that the only way to make once-in-a-lifetime change is to take things in your own hands and lead. It's what some of you did when you started your own businesses. It's what some of you might be doing to help provide economic security for your children and for your children's children. And it is exactly what we did in Illinois. Here's how. The Illinois Legislative Black Caucus introduced and passed a comprehensive and robust agenda to rid Illinois of systemic racism, every aspect of systemic racism. We transformed laws related to health care, education, criminal justice, and economic opportunity and equity. The Economic Access, Opportunity, and Equity Pillar, or Pillar number 3 as it was affectionately called, was created to enact policies that support and promote Black and minority communities in Illinois. We made Illinois a state that embraces economic access, Black leadership, and Black decision makers for generations to come. And it was truly an honor and a privilege for me, a little boy born in the safety net hospital in East St. Louis and reared in Centerville, to be the chief Senate sponsor of this historic and landmark legislation. Thanks to the support of Governor J.B. Pritzker and Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, we've done the following. We've improved the state contracting program by increasing contract goals for minority and women-owned businesses. Go ahead. We have overhauled the state's procurement program to increase diversity of businesses contracting with the state. We've expanded state grant programs that are available to small businesses. We've required state agencies to submit annual employee reports broken down by race and gender. We've established new community development loan programs for borrowers of color or borrowers who reside in low-income communities and who would not otherwise be eligible. Now, some people have said, hey, look, we've been there, we've done that, great, but how do we know it's going to be enacted? How do we know it's going to be implemented? You see, we understood the assignment. And so we created the Commission on Equity and Inclusion Act. And what this is a commission that consists of 7 members to oversee procurement for the state with a focus on minority inclusion and diversity. So, in other words, what we did in the language of the law is create a watchdog watchdog agency to make sure that everything we put in there will be adhered to the letter of the law. Now, combined, all these changes will help us achieve an equitable economy that nurtures Black professional development and prosperity. And we did all that because, as you know, we needed to totally change the landscape of an antiquated and outdated system. You see, we all belong in rooms where conversations are happening, where decisions are being made that impact our community. Because we know that by adding Black voices to the process improves outcomes for everyone. We are strategic thinkers who have unmatched backgrounds, voices, and skills that have historically and traditionally been kept out of those spaces. Real substantive change comes from Black-led movements. And that's why today, Illinois is a national leader when it comes to the real Black market. So before I close and go back to my seat, what does it look like? Well, the 57th district, in which I have the opportunity to be the state senator, if you were to Google top 10 poor cities in Illinois, you would get 3 of them in the 57th district. No other Senate district in Illinois has that dubious distinction. It would be the old Centerville, it would be Brooklyn, and it would be East St. Louis. So what's the impact of this legislation once enacted on communities like this? Well, a couple years ago, the General Assembly passed a $45 billion capital bill. With this legislation, we've moved the aspirational goals up from 20% to 30%. 30% of $45 billion, according to my math, pursuant to my math, is $13.5 billion. $13.5 billion that goes towards people of color, women, and persons with disabilities. Now, let's look and see how this works. Say you have a trucking company, and you get some of this $13.5 billion. With this money, you're able to hire people from your community to be truck drivers, mechanics, CPAs, computer technicians, and you're able to pay them a family-sustaining wage. And so what happens then is they tend to build in the community in which they were born. So now homes are being built, tax bases, revenues come in. Revenues go to school districts. Now you got better school districts. With better school districts and education, crime goes down. Ancillary businesses come to town to support the new population. So where there's barren fields right now, you'll get more suburbs and development happening in those communities. You'll get the Walmarts, you'll get the Krogers, and you'll get all the stores to come in. You'll get convenient marts to come in and support the development. That's more tax base. And so this is huge when you think about transformative legislation. it has the potential to change the whole structure that we're used to seeing. And with that being said, it has the potential to change our whole entire state and our whole beloved country. With that, it is my honor to introduce the mayor of the great city of East St. Louis, the Honorable Robert Easton III. Thank you all. God bless you.
Good evening. That's Friday. We outside. This time last year we were outside, so good evening. My name is Mayor Robert Easton III of the great city of East St. Louis, and I welcome you here today. I welcome you here today on many different levels. I welcome you today to take part in the new urban renaissance of the city of East St. Louis. I welcome you to take part of the $27 million that my state legislators went down to turn a blight into a bright at the Brach Hotel. I welcome you to take part of that. I welcome you to take part of the new and reinvigorated Rotary Club that we have in the city of East St. Louis. I welcome you to take part of the new 20 homes that we're getting ready to build on Lansdowne. I welcome you to take part of it. I welcome you to take part of the House of Miles, Catherine Dunham Museum, and all the things that we're working on in the city of East St. Louis. And I welcome you to come back home to East St. Louis, where our crime rate is down 67%. I welcome you back home to East St. Louis. I welcome you to be part of the City of Champions. My name is Mayor Robert Easton III, and it's not of the city, it's not of my city, it's of our city, the City of Champions, and champions always, right, Don? Always find a way to get it done. Thank you.
Good evening. It feels so good to see all of you here on this beautiful evening. I am LaToya Greenwood, State Representative for the 114th District, and I welcome all of you here on behalf of the over 108,000 constituents of the mighty 114th District. Congratulations to all of the honorees this evening. Such a wide array of excellence and so many friends and familiar faces being applauded for their work. Well deserved. A special thank you to President Franklin, the Banquet Committee, and co-chair Senator Christopher Bell, and Mr. James Williams Jr. for another successful banquet. I have been charged this evening with the introduction of our Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton. I was just trying to see if it was going to be on the video. Yes. She has inspired us, women and girls all around our state. She has imparted in us, poured into us a spirit of recognizing and understanding that the future is female. And we are here for our seat at the table. Juliana Stratton is excitingly serving the residents of Illinois as the state's 48th Lieutenant Governor. In 2019, she shattered barriers when she was inaugurated as the first Black Lieutenant Governor and the first Black woman to serve as a constitutional officer in Illinois' over 200-year history. She is highly qualified, dedicated, and confident that the best solutions for the challenges we face in our communities are found when we tap into the wisdom that already exists within them. In addition to spearheading the administration's Justice, Equity, and Opportunity Initiative, Lieutenant Governor Stratton is leading conversations on agriculture, military issues, and bringing her visionary leadership to more than a dozen councils, commissions, boards, and agencies as chair or executive liaison. Named by Chicago Magazine as one of the 50 most powerful women in Chicago, Stratton has been recognized by numerous organizations as an outstanding legislator, trailblazer and history maker, and Woman of the Year for her commitment to public service and social justice advocacy. She and her husband, Brian, live in both Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood and Springfield with their 4 daughters. Stratton loves the state of Illinois, the people of Illinois, and doing the work that will make Illinois the best for the next generation. She is no stranger to the community of East St. Louis and the surrounding areas. She is our friend and our sister. Please join me in welcoming our Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Leader Greenwood, for that wonderful introduction. It's always an honor to stand with you, not only as a former colleague in the General Assembly and as a highly qualified leader for your constituents, but also as my sister friend. I certainly want to acknowledge East St. Louis Mayor Robert Eastern III for your service to the City of Champions, as well as President of the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP, Stanley Franklin, and your entire board. It's so great to also see Illinois State President Teresa Haley. To all of you, thank you for continuing to fight the good fight on behalf of all of our communities. And of course, thank you to Banquet co-chairs, Senator Chris Belt and James Williams Jr. for the invitation to join me this evening. What a wonderful event and what a wonderful legacy. And if you don't mind, as a matter of personal privilege, I'm really grateful that my husband, Brian Eccles, is able to join me tonight. As I travel this great state, he's always been by my side, and he's a tremendous support to me, making history himself as our state's first Black second gentleman. Please welcome my husband, Brian. It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to the 67th Annual Freedom Fund Banquet. And how exciting is it to be back together again safely in person? You know, I know that due to this pandemic, there were many traditions and gatherings that had to be put on pause in the name of health and safety. But thanks to vaccines, you all are getting your vaccines, right? You're getting your vaccines? Okay. Thanks to vaccines and everyone looking out for each other, what a thrill it is to be here in person. And I also know that many of you have not seen each other in person in quite some time. So just take 1 minute, just to one other person at your table or somebody sitting next to them, sitting next to you, just tell them you look good tonight. Look at somebody else, tell them you look good. That's right, everybody looks so wonderful tonight. Thank you for doing that, because sometimes you just need to hear it every now and then. You know, Madam C.J. Walker said, don't sit down and wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them. And that's what this year's theme is all about. Economic equity, the real Black market. It's about understanding that when we come together and lift our collective voices, when we recognize that we are not each other's competition, but we are each other's biggest supporters, when we are intentional about lifting up Black-owned businesses and creating pathways for economic development in our own communities, then economic equity moves beyond a dream to a reality. See, when we have economic equity, black folks will be able to buy homes and open up businesses. When we have economic equity, then our children can have access to educational opportunities without being saddled with debt. When we have economic equity, then the issues that our communities grapple with in disproportionate levels, like food insecurity, or entanglement in the justice system, or lacking access to affordable health care, all of this will dissipate because our communities will have everything they need to be healthy and whole. As your Lieutenant Governor, I want you to know that Governor Pritzker and I continue to do the work to bring true economic equity to all of our communities throughout this state, and we're doing it alongside the tremendous leadership of Senator Belt and Leader Greenwood and the entire Illinois Legislative Black Caucus. Yet we also do this work along each and every one of you. From its inception, the NAACP has always sought to acknowledge Black excellence, disrupt inequality, and advance generational change for our communities. And as the second largest chapter in the state of Illinois, I don't have to tell you how important the East St. Louis branch is to the work for our communities all across this state. You know, like I do, that we don't have time to be patient for economic equity. The time is now and we cannot wait. We recognize our power, and it's demonstrated clearly by your presence here this evening. So I just want to say thank you to the NAACP East St. Louis chapter and to every one of you that are in attendance tonight for supporting these efforts and joining this amazing celebration. And I want to say congratulations to all of the honorees. With that, it is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, another one of my sister friends, United States Congresswoman Robin Kelly. I am so proud of her and the role model that she is for all, but especially for little girls who dream of making a difference. Representative Kelly represents her constituents in the 2nd Congressional District, and she works tirelessly to elevate the causes that can bring justice, safety, and prosperity to our communities in Illinois and across the nation. Please welcome Congresswoman Robin Kelly.
Good evening, everyone, and I am truly the one honored to be introduced of my sister friend, past co-worker, and just, women working hard together, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. Please, let's give her another round of applause. And I love that second husband thing, that sounded good. Thank you, President Franklin, for inviting me to join you here tonight in St. Louis for the 67th Annual Fund Awards Banquet. My name is Robin Kelly, and I have the honor of representing Illinois' 2nd Congressional District in Congress. In Washington, I serve as Vice Chair of the Energy and Commerce Committee on the House Committee for Oversight and Reform, as Vice Chair of the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force, a founder of the Tech Accountability Caucus, a founder and co-chair of the Caucus on Black Women and Girls, and as a proud member of the Congressional Black Caucus. Within the Congressional Black Caucus, I serve as chair of the Health Brain Trust. Health and health equity are determined by so many different factors, which we sometimes call the social determinants of health. One of those determinants that is so important and telling in someone's health opportunities is income and wealth. Before I was in Congress, I served as Chief of Staff to Illinois Treasurer Lexi Julius. In that role, I was able to become more involved in the East St. Louis area. I made it a point, I don't know if you guys remember, to make sure that we brought our Smart Women, Smart Money program to the East St. Louis area every year. I wanted to make sure we educated as many women as possible about the importance of investing, saving, and building a nest egg, as well as the value of starting a business. So many women thanked us for the seminars we offer, and I know that financial wellness is such an important topic for St. Louis. So I'm very glad that you all have chosen economic equality and the real black market as your theme for this year's banquet. For hundreds of years, we have known just how steep of a hill Black Americans must climb for the same economic opportunities as other people. There are some stark examples of attacks on Black wealth, like the Tulsa Race Massacre, and other less obvious ones, like redlining, unequal access to financial lending or credit. Earlier this year, we held a special congressional hearing on the centennial anniversary of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre in Oklahoma. We had the opportunity to hear from Viola Fletcher, one of the oldest living survivors of the massacre that left hundreds of Black people dead. She spoke about the destruction she saw as a young girl during these bombings, the fear she felt, and the pain and long-term suffering caused for her and so many in her community. She was just 7 years old when the white mob came to Black Wall Street in the Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa. Even at 107 years old, she remembers the attack very clearly. She spoke about the pain she feels that there's still never been an apology or justice for the victims and survivors. I bring this up because the Tulsa Race Massacre is probably the most glaring example, or most common example people think of when we think of attacks to Black business. But Black business and entrepreneurship is still threatened today. Throughout the past year, we have seen an increased focus on all aspects of the inequality Black people face in their daily lives, following the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Deserved, increased focus on Black business is one positive I believe has come out of the national reckoning of the last year. Of course, we have known about these issues and unjust treatment for hundreds of years, but now everyone can plainly see the realities of the Black American experience and what our society must do to erase the pernicious legacy decades of intentional, systemic, and structural racism have left in all areas of life for our communities. I have a number of things I want to mention tonight as we discuss Black economic equality, but I want to make sure I start out by talking to you about my personal connection to economics and business. I told you earlier I was from Illinois, and I am, but I was born in New York City, which will always be my heart home. When I was growing up as a child in New York, I saw and experienced so much of what is possible when Black people have the opportunity to thrive. My grandparents opened a store in Harlem in the 1940s. My grandmother was a domestic that had saved up the money, and without telling my grandfather, she bought the store. She came home one day and told him, "We're in the grocery business now." My grandfather was a little stunned, but he went along the program. That mom and pop grocery store remained in my family, and my father eventually ran it. This is the kind of story that many people recognize as a major aspect of the American dream, but it's not a story that very many Black people are able to take a part in. We have got to change that, and for that reason, I'm so glad that you've all chosen economic equality as a theme tonight. Generational wealth and opportunity are so critical to building long-standing, lasting wealth for Black Americans. Many in our communities not have properties or assets to hand down to their children and grandchildren or a nest egg to leave them. And having properties to pass down is becoming even more difficult with rising housing costs and stagnant income rates. These are issues all Americans grapple with, but there are a few factors that are forcing the brunt of this financial challenge onto Black businesses and communities. Earlier this year, as part of my work as the founder and co-chair of the Caucus on Black Women and Girls, I released a report titled "The State of Black Women and Girls in the 21st Century," an analysis of challenges and opportunities. My co-chairs and I crafted this report with national experts and experts from our districts about some of the most pressing challenges facing Black women and girls in our country. This is the first report of its kind. We focused on many issues impacting Black women and girls, from maternal health to education to criminal justice. We dedicated an entire chapter to financial wellness because we know just how important this issue is in achieving true justice and equity and opportunities for Black communities and for Black women in particular. We were fortunate to have Congresswoman Maxine Waters, the chairwoman of the House Financial Services Committee, contribute to this report, and she shared with us some key opportunities that we have to change the economic disparities that so many Black women are facing. Don't worry, I'm not going to read you our full 50-page report here tonight, but I do want to share a few of the most important challenges we identified that relate to this year's theme. The first is promoting inclusive lending for communities of color. Communities of color, including women and minority-owned businesses, have long been excluded from access to financial services. This is, of course, only exacerbated by the current COVID-19 pandemic. We need to make sure that Black Americans have the same access to financial lending as our white peers. Lending is an absolutely essential aspect of business building and wealth growing. For too long, harmful biases and outright discrimination have prevented Black Americans from being able to access the financial capital necessary for entrepreneurship. Additionally, we need to increase accountability for diversity on corporate boards and in the senior executive ranks of financial companies and organizations. As chair of the Tech Accountability Caucus, it was unbelievable to find out that Facebook and Google and Microsoft and companies like that, companies that a lot of African Americans use to take advantage of, Facebook did not have any African Americans, and for one, no African Americans, no women of any color on their board. That's ridiculous in 2021. Additionally, we need to increase the accountability for diversity on corporate boards and the senior executive ranks of financial companies and organizations. When Black people do not have a seat at the table, we cannot be certain that those in power have our best interests at heart. We need Black Americans in those C-suite roles in order to ensure that we not only have equal treatment by financial institutions, but that financial organizations are going the extra mile to correct past wrongs and intentionally improve the financial opportunities available to us. Beyond entrepreneurship, we know one of the most important and simplest paths to wealth building is homeownership. As early as the 1930s, the federal government began the process of redlining and refusing to insure mortgages in and near African American neighborhoods, effectively creating a federal segregated housing policy. Additionally, the Federal Housing Authority subsidizes entire subdivisions for white people with the exception that none of the homes be sold to African Americans. This government-sponsored segregation has had a serious, lasting impact on not only the housing, but also the transportation and job opportunities available to Black Americans. But I will get to more on that and what we're going to do to fix it shorter. We must do more to increase home ownership rates among Black Americans, especially Black women. Lending is an issue, unequal access to credit is an issue, and the eviction crisis is an issue. Addressing these issues and closing both the gender and racial gap in home ownership will help improve the economic opportunity for Black Americans, especially for our children and grandchildren. That's why the investments that we are planning to include in housing and transportation, in good paying jobs and education, and the build back. I think it's 38. I gotta walk over there and see. So important, and we will get it done. As you heard me mention, based on where you live, transportation can have such a detrimental impact on wages and wealth. Black communities in many cities, especially in the South, were systematically cut off from the rest of the city when the highways and interstate road systems were constructed. Some people in power knew that this would be a key way to keep Black people out of certain parts of the city and away from good job opportunities and schools for their children. That's why part of our infrastructure plan must focus on reconnecting these communities. I mean, physically reconnecting them to roads, livestock, water, and transportation. And through that effort, connecting them to opportunities for good jobs with high wages. While I'm on the subject of wages, I must also mention that we need to be doing more to close the wage gap. We know that women across the country are paid less for the same job as men. And the problem is even worse for Black women. With Black women as the breadwinners of many families, this has a very lasting impact on wealth and the opportunities that children have. In August, we just marked Black Women's Equal Pay Day. in August, the day when Black women catch up with what white men earned the year prior. We also need investments in childcare and education, making sure that young people are not leaving college with tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. And then the critically important labor industries that are carried by Black people, like the home care and home health care workforce. We must act on the momentum we currently have in this renewed national focus on improving equity and equality for Black Americans in every aspect of our lives. We need these critical investments and changes to ensure that Black Americans will have better and more fair access to the key drivers of wealth building for generations to come. Thank you all for your interest in this topic. Please keep working on these issues at your community and state level. I know there are some movers and shakers here tonight, and I'm trusting you to help us accomplish this mission. Last but not least, 2 more favors. As the Lieutenant Governor looked at you and said, I know you got your shot. And if you haven't, I know you're going to get it sometime soon. And get the booster if you need to, I got mine. And the other thing is, I'm not telling you how to do it or who to vote for, but please, please, please remember to vote. Whoever it is that you decide to vote for, we are fighting in D.C. for people to keep their right to vote. You see, people are trying to take it away every day. There are 360 new voting bills to suppress vote in 47 states. So we need to pass a federal law. So please, please remember to vote. Thank you again for inviting me to speak tonight. I hope the rest of your evening is wonderful. Thank you.
Let's give Congressman Kelly another round. Congressman Kelly for taking out of your busy schedule to be part of this community. We know that you have a very, very busy schedule. So, because you have continuously fought for job growth, you have fought for equality, or equity, I would say, and you fought for economic things. It's important to have you here to bring that message home tonight, because our theme tonight is economic equity in the real life. I would like to present you with an award this evening on behalf of the East St. Louis branch of NAACP for giving us a powerful message tonight. So with that being said, Congressman Kelly, I want to thank you for making time in your busy schedule to be here tonight. So we will give you this plaque. It says keynote speaker, Congresswoman Robin Kelly, 2nd Congressional District, State of Illinois, 2021, Stanley W. Franklin, Branch President.
All right, let's give another round of applause for Congresswoman Kelly. It is so great to know politicians like her out there fighting for us, making a difference. We now would like for all of our elected officials who are in attendance, please stand and be recognized where you are, please. Thank you so much. When we think of the NAACP, we think of a fight against racial injustice, and they have been doing this for over 100 years. But what about economic equality, or how does that play into our racial justice? Now, the NAACP believes that economic equity is crucial to racial equality, and the investment in communities of color is important of overcoming racism.
This is why the man coming to the stage next believed that the conversations on economic equity and the real black market was so important. It is also the reason why he joined an economic task force to help black businesses. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the winner of the Illinois Black Caucus's Essential Changemaker Award of the second Vice President of the NAACP Illinois State Conference, the NAACP State Chair for Economic Development, and the President of the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stanley Franklin.
I think that there is Congresswoman Robert Kelly who's sitting there. I think they're taking a group picture over here. I just want to let you know, because just in case somebody didn't get an opportunity to take a picture like Charlotte Harper. So I think they're taking a picture, so if you want to be a part of that picture, she has a flight to leave, and I don't want to be the reason why she's late. So if you want to be in that picture, you're single game of Rose, and you might want to go over there now. Last call. Thank you for that glowing introduction. Good evening. Good evening. You know, standing from here, I can only see bright lights. I don't know what's happening in the world. Welcome to our 67th Annual Freedom Fund Awards Day. First, let me start off by thanking my beautiful wife for 35 years. The mother of our 5 wonderful children. My wife, Michael, will you please stand? She's a little shy. She's going to be mad about that a little bit later. It's okay. And I was looking right there. I know I got some family somewhere. If you're back there, just wave your hand in the air. Wave it like you just don't care. I got some family over there someplace. I want to thank my family for coming out and supporting me again this year. Next, I want to thank Congresswoman Robin Kelly for being our keynote speaker this evening. And I know she has to run off. We want to thank her for those words that she shared with us a little earlier. One of the things that we kind of do, some of my colleagues, we kind of get together and you know, we have some guys that are social justice experts. So I want to go off script a little bit, and I want to recognize those other branch presidents that are present here this evening. As I call your name, they didn't know what they're doing, so it may be a little bit timid. So as I call your name, would you please come up? We have the Edwardsville president, Walter Williams from Edwardsville. Can you come up here for a minute, Walter? He's the Edwardsville NAACP president. All the way from McDonald County, NAACP, is Byron Shabazz. He's with us now. Home Illinois. He started here, he was the vice president there, he's a new president, he's doing an outstanding job. We had a state convention there. I don't see him because of the bright lights, but I know he texts me. He's here, James Harrell from Madison, Pastor James Harrell. He's here with us this evening. Right? So I said, come on over, James. He's the Madison NAACP president. Across the river, we just had your Freedom Fund Awards banquet. My brother, John Bowley, St. Louis County NAACP president. You don't know, John, James Brown sang that song that it's a man's world. But in Illinois, we can't do nothing without a woman. The state president of the Illinois State Conference is my president. The beautiful Teresa Haley is the Illinois State President. Now, just in case, I know there may be some other presidents out there. I don't see you. But if you're here, can you come up so I can recognize you? So I know next you'll be texting me, asking me how come I didn't recognize you. But I don't see you. So you guys can come over there. You can come up the stage. And we want to take that Kodak picture. One of the things that we do, you know, the Divine Nine, very, very popular within the NAACP family. We got, okay, sorry about that. Well, you know, hey, when I was talking about the Divine Nine, I need a little help over here. We got a noob in the house over here. From St. Louis City. Adolphus Pruitt is the president of St. Louis City NAACP. John Goldman is an Omega. I know we got some Omegas in the house. Byron Shabazz is an Alpha Kappa. He's an Alpha. How can I make that sweet? He's gonna beat up me a little bit. He's gonna get on me a little later, but not. And we have our state president is a Delta. So we got one of the things I want to say about these leaders back here, there's some hardworking leaders in our community. They are those that get an opportunity to hear these stories about the disparity that's affecting our communities. And they're the ones that we get a chance to hear all those problems. But they're doing a great job in their respective communities. I just wanted to give them a pat on the back and let them know that, you know, I know what you're going through. Being a president myself, so I just wanted to recognize that you see these other presidents, let you know that I'm not in this thing alone. These are some of my colleagues and they're doing a great job. With that being said, before they leave, I want our cameraman to take a picture of us. So, yeah. Now, I know they're monitoring me about this speech. We got a tight schedule, and I'm supposed to stay on script, but I apologize to those that are in charge. I want to thank our fellow presidents for the work that they're doing in their respective communities. Special thanks to our banquet committee. Is there any banquet committee people here, or are they still out there working? We also have some banquet committee chairs. If you're here in the banquet committee or banquet committee chair, will you please stand? Most of them are still working outside. But I just want to give them a round of applause for the great work that they are doing. We have about 19 committees that get together and organize this banquet. And as you look around and see the work that they have done, what do you all think? Good job. Give them a round of applause. Will all the NAACP members please stand? Some they work on the banquet committee, but they're all members that did as part of each of those branches. Just stand up, give them a shot, and take it. We're going to still talk about the ambassador at the NAACP. A little bit later. One of the things that happened also, before the banquet started, there was an event that took place downstairs. And there was people that paid an additional fee, and they called them VIPs. And the VIPs, they paid an additional fee because of the mission of the NAACP to assist us. And they do this because they want to make a difference. And I just want to acknowledge all the VIPs. Will you please stand? If you paid as a VIP, will you please stand? I'm going to tell you all a little minds. Remember guys who do a little bit minds, but we have a whole table of VIPs, along with our yeah, I just want you to recognize you and thank you for what you're doing to support the mission of the NAACP. For the past few years, I've started my report off by commemorating lives that was lost during the race riot. In 2017, we commemorated the lives of the 1917 East St. Louis race riot. In 2019, we commemorated those who lost their lives in over 26 race riots which devastated black communities throughout this country in 1919. And this year is no different. We're commemorating those who lost their lives in the 1927 Tulsa racial riot. In 1921, savage mobs killed and maimed hundreds of black people. In one night, they burned 10 blocks, homes and businesses to the ground. The Greenwood District. Some of you all may remember that there's a band called the Gap Band. Y'all don't know about that. Y'all don't know about the Gap Band. Okay. They were commonly referred as the Black Wall Street, including black restaurants, black hotels, black clothing stores, and black theaters. The Greenwood District, Senator Bell, is the real black market. The black market is not something, it's not some place where drugs and stolen properties are traded. It's not some dirty or illegal underground market. The real black market is a place where black businesses flourish and become economic powerhouses. Some of you all may have seen some of the vendors that are outside. They're sharing their wares. We talk about the real black market. The real black market is our marketplace. Creating economic equity starts with building black businesses, building the black market. Currently, white households have about 10 times the wealth as black households. We got to close that wealth gap right now. We can't do that by just being employees or just consumers. In order to close the gap, we must be builders of our own marketplace. Because black businesses hire more black employees, thus lowering the rate of unemployment and underemployment in the black community. Bottom line. Black businesses create innovative ways of serving an untapped population. Black businesses create wealth, which is the key to the overall American economic growth. This is why the NAACP is working nationally to empower Black businesses. This is also the reason why the State Economic Committee that I chair has been working to empower Black businesses by creating a Black business directory to make them more visible. If 100 years ago, our ancestors could build the equivalents of a Black Wall Street, then it's our duty to create a nationwide Black marketplace. And call it the real Black market. Thank you.
Thank you, President Franklin. Some powerful, powerful words, some great remarks. Once again, a round of applause for President Franklin. Building a nationwide Black market will be hard, but every movement starts with those first steps. Now we are going to take another step into tonight's program, and moving on to that portion of the evening that I'm sure many of you have been waiting on. Dinner time. Dinner will now be served. Just to note though, our program will proceed throughout the dinner. Please remember that when you leave your table, you will need to take your mask with you and have that mask covering your nose and your mouth. Up next, I want to bring them right back. President Franklin will present the program sponsors with their awards. President?
Now, one of the members was sharing a little earlier that they were saying, "Hey, what are you seeing?" He said he was watching you early this morning at 4 o'clock or so. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. He does a great job at 5. At this particular time, I would like to thank our sponsors for supporting and making this event possible. I will now present appreciation awards to our silver, bronze, and unity sponsors. Please accept these recognitions of appreciation. Our silver sponsor is the Spell Food, James Williams. I know he's here somewhere. I know he's extremely busy. He just purchased 6 more McDonald's last week. He was told $29. So with this time, I would like Mr. Williams, with this award, and so how next we have our bronze sponsor, Amarillo, Illinois. I'm not sure if Brian Bennett is here. We have a representative from Amarillo, Illinois. Okay, we want to give them a round of applause. If they're coming, we want to give Amarillo and one of our bronze sponsors. Okay, we got somebody from Emory coming? Yes, we do. Okay. also have the Bronze Award by the Education Foundation. We have a representative from here that's going to be coming up. I don't know if they managed to take something on behalf. We have the student team, but some of our corporate leaders, because of COVID, are not coming out, so I understand that I get it. Our unity awards is Mike Miller from the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, who has been the ambassador for the East St. Louis branch and has been a member of the East St. Louis branch for a number of years. He's a gold life member of the East St. Louis branch. He is, and he's also one of our sponsors, and he consistently supports us on a regular basis. So, okay, yes, we're going to take a group picture. We get them all up here at one time so we can just make one shot. So what we're going to do is we got Memorial Hospital, Belleville, Shiloh. We got a representative from there. I know that Belleville is not coming out because of COVID, but they do support us. We have Lewis Rice, LLC. So we have a representative from Lewis Rice, and we coming up. Will Jericho be going to accept it, or who's going to be accepting that on behalf of Lewis Rice? Somebody's coming? Okay. So what we got is that we also have Eastern Illinois University is also unity sponsor. Dr. Gibson, you want to accept that on behalf of Eastern? You can come on up. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a picture with all of these silver, bronze, and unity sponsors. Now, you know, every now and then, when you're behind the right attention having, you have a tendency to fade out. And one of the things that I just did is make a brother, I'm looking at my brother, Jason Landers here from the Illinois American Water, charged it to my head and not my car, because there's quite a bit that's going on and it wasn't there. But I want to make sure that this was just Justin. The new president of the Illinois American Water Company. So he's up here, he's been a sponsor, and he's been supportive of the things that we do in this city. All of the awards here. Now, you know, one of the things that we also do is that when we put our souvenir journal booklet together, we also have sponsors that sponsors after the book is printed. And when we're printing the books and everything is together, sometimes we may miss some of the sponsors. But one of our household names in the community is the Jackie Jordan Courtesy Foundation. And the Jackie Jordan Courtesy Foundation is one of our bronze sponsor supporters. So we want to make sure that the Jackie John Kersey and what they're doing with our young people to continue to do those things within our community. So we have a representative, I don't think Jackie is here, but they have somebody that's representing the Jackie John Kersey Foundation. So I just want to thank all of our sponsors. And I think we'll be ready to take their pictures shortly. So bear with me. Okay. We also want to don't go too far. We also want to recognize those other coaches that support us each year in terms of making sure that they get the word out and supporting the NAACP. We want to be able to recognize those honorary coaches also. I don't know if they run straight across the river. I don't know if he crossed the river, he's just all over. I just want to thank you for regards to supporting the NAACP as one of our ambassadors. So we also have Karen, she's not present this evening. And then we have Howard. That is the president of J Trucking LLC. That I thought I saw him earlier. So we want to make sure that we recognize him as one of our leaders. Let's get them all out of the way now since we're looking for his trophy. Next, I want a special thanks for this year's banquet chair. This year's banquet chair is none other than my lecturer, who is the Honorable Senator Christopher Bill of the Illinois State Senator, 57th District, is the chair of this year's banquet. The co-chair of this year's banquet, you got the fan back in the back. The co-chair this year is James E. Williams Jr., who is the president and CEO of Estelle Foods, Inc. Is the co-chair of this year's banquet. Please join us in giving these awardees a round of applause. And thank you.
as you enjoy your meal. Let's give another round of applause for our sponsors, their support, as the President mentioned, makes this evening possible. Thank you once again for your generosity and support of such a great cause.
How's the food so far? Good? All right, this one right there, sounds good to me. Next over to the stage, East St. Louis ACT ESCO Gold Medal winner, Dallas Watson. Try this one more time. Dallas Watson, are you in the house? Here she comes. Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas Watson. Dallas Watson, ladies and gentlemen.
If our votes didn't matter, then why do they take it away? Why are millions of Black folks unable to vote because of felony disenfranchisement? Why is it that in 2020 there was a surge in the Black vote? Am I right, Georgia? Am I right, Pennsylvania? But now, in 2021, there's stricter laws in order to stop the Black vote. It's because of voter suppression, which is the prevention of voting, arresting to vote according to God law. For example, as reported by the Center for American Progress in Georgia in 2018, over 37,000 Black voters were potentially unable to vote because of minor misspellings are missing hyphens on the voter registration. The possibility of 37,000 Black voters not being able to vote but it was rather a form of voter suppression. Thus, we must know how and why some Black voters are never making it to the ballot box. Now, voter suppression can happen in many instances. For example, in 18 states, driver's license or state IDs are required to vote. However, according to ACLU, up to 25% of African American citizens lack government-issued IDs, compared to only 8% of whites. That 25% can be the difference in our president, a state senator, or even the federal judge who is disproportionately sending Black men and Black women to prison. Even more, as stated by CNN in 2021, Georgia's governor, Brian Kemp, passed law SB 202, which makes it illegal for voters to receive food or water while waiting in line to vote. That will ultimately affect Black voters because Black communities tend to have longer voting rights. So how do we solve this problem? First, I had to take action and become a co-worker in the 2020 election. Even though I couldn't vote, I knew I wanted to be part of the electoral system. You can become a co-worker right now.
just by going to the local county or city clerk office. Secondly, if someone is trying to suppress your vote, call the election hotline, which is 1-866 our vote to report. And lastly, you can donate to the NAACP, who has worked tirelessly to stop voter suppression. However, this problem will not change overnight. Even though there are activists, such as Stacey Abrams, who have worked to eradicate voter disenfranchisement. Because like the great John Lewis said, the vote is precious. It is almost sacred. It is the most powerful, non-violent tool we have in a democracy. So at the end of the day, don't suppress the Black vote.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas Watson, what an incredible, powerful presentation. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you. Wow. Next on our program for tonight is a presentation of the James Lewis Essay and Scholarship Award winners. The purpose of the James Lewis Essay Award is to provide a monetary award to select essay authors to further their career goals. To introduce this year's winners, please welcome Katrina Thomas, the Essay Chair, to present the James Lewis Essay and Scholarship winners.
Before I go on, this is the James Lewis Senior Essay Contest, and that was his granddaughter who made the presentation. Greetings to all assembled. We salute the family of Mr. James Lewis Sr., who so passionately believed in the city of East St. Louis, Illinois, the NAACP, and young people in St. Clair County. In the beginning, Mr. Lewis was the person who created this scholarship and secured the funds for this essay contest. But since his passing, Mrs. Erin Kern has so graciously made the commitment to seek funds for the scholarship portion of the NAACP. Mrs. Kern is unable to be here tonight, so on her behalf, we would like to thank all of the contributors who made this scholarship opportunity available to our essay contest winners and our scrapbook winners. Thank you, Mrs. Kern, for committing your time and effort to this very worthwhile endeavor. We are quite proud of the 14 students who put forth that effort to participate in the 2021 contest. So the board has agreed to give the 8 students who did not place in the top 6 $100 for their educational expenses. Just to them. You know, as educators, we always encourage the students, you just might win something. All high schools in St. Clair County were notified of this contest. But the following schools had students to enter the contest: East St. Louis Senior High School, Cahokia High School, SIU Charter High School, Belleville East High School, Belleville West High School, and O'Fallon High School. We commend them for putting on that special effort. A special thank you is extended to the essay committee and to our very dedicated community, readers and scorers. Those are the citizens of the city who had a little free time to read the essays written by these students. 3 students are honorable mentions, and I'm going to ask them to come up on stage. If they're not in this long, please come on up. There are 2 that I could not find. 3 students who are honorable mentions, they are and they will receive a $500 check for educational expenses. All of the ones will receive a one-year membership in the NAACP and a beautiful plaque. The top 3 winners will receive varying amounts of scholarship money. Our honorable mention, Mr. Donovan Whitfield from O'Fallon High School. He is the son of Donovan and Carla Whitfield. Please come forward. This is Mr. James Lewis Jr. on the stage with us. We always get assistance from the Lewis family. We appreciate it. Honorable mention Dallas Watson from Belleville West High School. Dallas is the daughter of Jennifer Watson and Darren Watson. She is also the granddaughter of our very own Mr. James Lewis. Honorable mention Tyler Anderson from SIU Charter High School. She is the daughter of Mrs. LaTanya Say. Our third place winner, Olivia Giannuzzi from Cahokia High School. She is the daughter of Nancy Holden and Christopher Crawford. She is receiving a $1,000 check for her education. Our second place winner, Camille Rice from East St. Louis Senior High School. She is the daughter of Alicia Bowman and she's receiving $1,500. This is one I put back. Okay, our first place winner, Alanya Martin from Belleville West High School. She is the daughter of Tanya Martin and Albert Martin III. She is receiving a $2,500 check. Congratulations to all of our entries and winners. Thank you, and remain at the end of the state program. Time has shown us that the more we change, the more it is. It can be difficult at times to see what has positively changed when there are so many things that have stayed the same. Racism and discrimination are prime examples of this. Racism and discrimination have been around for centuries, but it seems as though this pandemic has brought things to new colors. Hiding behind a screen and typing the N-word, or singing the lyrics to a song with the N-word and posting on a private Snap story is a lot easier than saying it in person. Supporting people with global morals and ideals is as easy as well because it is as simple as liking or sharing an Instagram post. Being misogynistic and discriminatory towards women is as easy as sending a tweet saying, well, it was her fault for dressing that way, or she was all up on me, she was asking for it. As a teen, at times it feels like you can't do anything because you're too old to complain, but at the same time you're too young to speak up. We should stir up the trouble in whatever way possible. We can use the same platform people use to spread positivity and education. We can organize and attend peaceful protests to show our support for the topics that matter to us. Most importantly, we can make our voices heard by voting and encouraging my peers to vote as well. I recently received my voter registration card in the mail, and I'm looking forward to my first opportunity to vote in an election. Some people choose not to vote because they think their vote doesn't count. But I believe that if our vote didn't count, then some people wouldn't be trying so hard to make it difficult for us to vote. If young people get out and make our voices heard without a box, no matter how difficult it may be, we have the power to create positive change in this country.
We are the future, and we have to be the ones to make a change in America. There will always be someone with a different opinion, and we can't sit back and be quiet. We must continue to build on the work that past generations have started. It will take time and effort, but as long as we fight against the norms and do what is right, we can and will build a better future. Congratulations once again to our SC awardees. Let's give them another round of applause. Now to present our Charles H. Lawson III Award is Ms. Lorna Jones, the chairperson for the committee. This award is named in honor of former president of the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP. The Charles H. Lawson III Award is presented to a first and second place winner. This award is named for Mr. Lawson, who served for many years as president of our local church. The award is given to an outstanding high school senior based on a documented criterion of scholastic achievement, community and church involvement, extracurricular activities, and other pertinent information presented as well. This year we had 6 applicants. 2 of them are winners. The other 4, as you have heard, will also be receiving a $100 stipend. Our second place winner this year is Kate Redson. Kate is the daughter of Susan and Wesley Redson, and she is a student at Woodbound Township High School. Kate regrets that she did not attend tonight because of school commitment. She is a very, very busy young lady and had a commitment that was scheduled at the same time. In fact, as I speak, she is performing as a part of the school's honor brass ensemble. We congratulate Kate as she will receive an award and $1,500 scholarship. Congratulations to Kate. Our first place winner, you've already met, Alana. Alana is a busy young lady. She is our first place winner. She has participated in many activities in the community
of 4.5 and ranks number 64 in the class 525. She is involved at the church, the New Life of Christ Church in Ocala, Illinois. Alana says that she's not made a college choice yet, but she's already been accepted at 3 universities and is ready to see her.
I'll bring you back.
Don't dwell on the little things or things you cannot change. Focus on things that are within your power to change and do just that. Please join us, the East St. Louis branch of the NAACP, as we salute Alanya Marie Martin, our first place winner of the 2021 Charles H. Lawson III Award. Alanya is receiving an award and a $2,000 scholarship. Congratulations and best wishes for the successful future.
Let's hear it once again for Alanya. What a terrific and fascinating young lady Marie Jackson doing. Mr. McMillan, sir, there's something you taught me during the Urban League dinners that I was so blessed to be able to see. Is that in order to bring the room forward, sometimes we have to clean our glasses. Would you be nice enough to begin to clean the glasses for me, please? Thank you. At the beginning of the evening, I spoke about the fact that it's been a while since we were able to get together. And undoubtedly because of that absence, we are reacquainting ourselves with one another. As much as I appreciate that, and I look forward to seeing old friends again and shaking hands and hugging and everything else, some young people have worked extremely hard for this night of recognition. They have dedicated themselves at a time when they can be doing so many other things, at a time when we have faced some unprecedented circumstances for education. They have done a great and marvelous job, and they deserve tonight not just a part of your attention. They deserve tonight your full attention. We speak about black excellence and we talk about the real black market and proceed on to being better than what we were the day before. To do that, we must be gracious to one another. Because if we don't look out for us, who will? So tonight, take just a look at yourself for the next few minutes and give these people up here the cheers and the attention that they deserve, please. Now for the presentation of the ACTSO 5-Star Scholarship Award, the ACTSO Scholarship Chair, Linda Spencer.
Good evening. This might help a little bit. Joining me in this presentation will be the chairperson of the local East St. Louis AXO program, Ms. LaToya Brach. East St. Louis branch number 3013 will present the AXO 5-Star Scholarship, which is designed to to support African American college students who are striving to continue their personal quest for excellence in the areas of cultural awareness. 5 students are being awarded this evening with scholarships in the amount of $2,000. These 5 students are receiving scholarships in the following categories: humanities, performing arts, visual arts, STEM, and business entrepreneurship, which are the principles of ACTSO. By the way, ACTSO stands for Afro Cultural Technological Scientific Olympics. The winners for this year are, in the category of humanities, Sheila Reed. Sheila is a sophomore attending Washington University, St. Louis, Missouri. Her major field of study is creative writing and education. Jada could not be with us this evening, and arrangements will be made for her to receive her trophy and award. In the category of performing arts, Jalen Mutchison. Jalen is a freshman attending the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, Illinois. His major field of study is Bachelor of Fine Arts Acting. Accepting for Jalen is his father, Mr. Jesus Kimbrough. Congratulations. In the category of visual arts, Alexis Gavin. Alexis is a freshman attending Howard University, Washington, D.C. Her major field of study is criminology and/or film. Accepting for Alexis tonight are her parents, Colonel Gaffney, and Dr. Don Porter. Congratulations to Alexis Gaffney. The next category, STEM. The winner for the category, for the STEM category is Kayla Carter. Kayla is a sophomore attending Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, Illinois. Her major field of study is nursing. Congratulations, Kayla. And the final category, business entrepreneurship. The winner is Jordan Brach. Jordan is a freshman attending Jackson State University, Jacksonville, Mississippi. His major field of study is business marketing. Jordan could be with us. Accepting for Jordan is his mother, Mrs. Maria Brown. We thank all of the entrants and to our sponsors for this inaugural ACTSO 5-Star Scholarship Award. Thank you. Congratulations to all of our ACTSO 5-Star Scholarship winners. As we know that college is so expensive, and one of the essays is in honor of Charles H. Lawson. And we want to, the family, we're told the family is here tonight. Would you please stand
We thank you so much for continuing the legacy for Charles H. Lawson. Thank you so much. These scholarships help our students afford what has become a necessity and a stepping stone to college, as we know that education is the key to success, and supporting our youth is so important. Now, before we move on to the next award, please remember, as you walk around the room, as we mentioned, please continue to wear your mask. If you're not seated, when you're seated, you take those off. As you walk around, please be sure to wear your mask. Now, please welcome President Franklin back to the stage for the presentation for the President's Award. This is one that's always a surprise, and no one knows who the winner will be until tonight. So, drum roll, please. We're all to find out here shortly.
$21,000 scholarship. $21,000 in scholarship. We are investing in our young people. Okay. Now, it's time to present the President's Award. The President's Award is somewhat of a difficult award to present. But there are a lot of people in the organizations that are doing great things. But there's always someone that kind of stands out a little bit more than others, that do a little bit more than some of the other members of the NAACP. We have a great group of people that are part of the East St. Louis branch NAACP. But this year's President's Award is being presented to a person that has served in the public sector for more than 31 years in the areas of public administration, housing, community development. He has oversaw major renovations in East St. Louis City Hall and the historical Mary E. Brown Center. To list some of his works in the East St. Louis branch, he has played a major role in a host of activities and committees that the things that we do in the community, such as food drives, voter registration drives, political forums, town hall meetings. He's also the chair of our Political Action Committee. He's a fully paid civil life member, and he volunteers his time and resources unselfishly. He just happens to be my line brother also. That's not the reason why he got the President's Award now. I know some of you all looking like, whoa. But yeah, he is my line brother. He's my frat brother. Help me to congratulate this year's 2021 President's Award to Mr. Robert Betts. And let's congratulate him again. Now, now please welcome the first Vice President of the East St. Louis branch, Mr. Andrew Bailey. I know you all can't see him with them dark colors on. Mr. So at this time, Mr. Banquet is the chair of our membership. He's going to present our life membership. However, before he presents those awards to others, I want to first congratulate him on becoming a member on the highest level. Mr. Banquet, the first vice president of the East St. Louis branch NAACP, is a fully paid Diamond Life member. That is the highest level of membership that NAACP offers. Let me, before he presents all the awards to the other life members, let me present him with the award for as a fully paid Diamond Life member. Congratulations, Mr. Andrew.
The diamond, gold, silver, and bronze lifetime memberships are awarded to members who have made a financial commitment to support the mission of the NAACP. There are two levels of diamond, gold, silver, and bronze life memberships. One is a fully paid membership, and the other is a subscribing life membership. As I call your name, please come forward. Gerald Johnson. Gerald is tonight. Brian Lane. Willie Harris. Senator Christopher Belt. Christopher Bell. Sam Douglas. Bobby Betts. James Blue. Congratulations to all of the new life members. If anyone else would like to become a life member, please see me or our president. Hopefully, we will bring honoring to you on next year. Thank you. Let's give them another big hand of applause. Our president back to the stage.
What do y'all think about that jacket? Mine's gonna be crimson and green, you know. Okay. We want to thank Mr. Bailey as a Diamond Life member. We want to commend him on the work he's doing with the East St. Louis branch. Thank you to all the life members. As you all know, that membership is our lifeblood. If you're not a member, consider joining today. I'm sure there's some membership form somewhere on the table or somewhere around here. Because I think maybe we're scanning the audience to see who is not a member. Because as you all know, the East St. Louis branch has won the membership branch for the last few years or so. If everybody stay present, if my memory serves me correctly, probably about 5 years in a row we were first in renewal and memberships for about 5 consecutive years. So Mr. Bailey and his crew is looking for new members. And Marine Corps, which I am an ex-Marine, they said they're looking for a few good men, but we're looking for a few good members. Okay. With that being said, next we are here to present the Stella Award. The Stella Award is given to a person from East St. Louis who have achieved on a national level. It is the highest award that we present to members in our community. Our winner this year is an outstanding businessman, a community leader. He's the founder and the CEO of Managers Global Holding LLC. He's a principal board member of Think True Multicultural Marketing Company and a board member of Helios Education Foundation. In 2020, Directors and Board magazines named him as one of its directors to watch. Board magazine similarly named him as one of the most influential Black corporate directors in 2016 and 2017. Help me to welcome this year's 2021 Stellar Achievement Award to Mr. Bader Old Manager. He's here from Next, we would like to have our Lifetime Achievement Awardee recipient. And I don't think he's present tonight. Most of you all know him. It is Mr. Donald Suggs, a civil rights activist. Has got many firsts, and the first African American to serve as an associate clinical professor at St. Louis University Dental School, and the first African American to serve on the president of Conventions and Visitors Bureau in St. Louis. He is currently the publisher and editor of the St. Louis American, Missouri's largest weekly newspaper. Please welcome our Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Mr. Donald M. Silvers. Congratulations.